What's going on there, Vol Nation? If you're tuned in for basketball, you probably just tuned in to a pretty tough finish right there. Tennessee falls to Vanderbilt 76-75. It's always said anytime either team wins, it's our state. Well, unfortunately for us, we have to say right now, according to this, it's their state. Sucks to say, it is what it is, though. And hats off to Vanderbilt. Hats off to them. Their first win against a ranked opponent since 22-23, which ironically enough was against, you guessed it, Tennessee as well. But Vanderbilt, give them credit. Give them credit. They went on enough runs in this game. They played good enough basketball. Yeah, it come down to that free throw from Chaz at the end. When I get into this, it runs much deeper than that. And I'm not going to ridicule Chaz on this. Tennessee shot 81% from the free throw line. They missed two. Unfortunately, one of the two was very big, but there's a lot of other factors in this game that led to Vanderbilt winning it. And when you keep having to come back from deficits along the way, that's part of it. Make sure you hit that like, that share, that subscribe as we're rolling right along here as well. But Tennessee drops their second game of the season, and got to think they'll drop again in the polls this week. I've said it on here numerous times. Anytime you go on the road in SEC is going to be tough. That was a heck of an environment. Hats off to Vanderbilt for the environment they had tonight. I know there were a lot of Tennessee fans there as well, but both sides seemed to be very loud tonight. So hats off to them. Vanderbilt got to storm the court. You know what? That says a lot about your program when somebody storms the court on you. The silver lining in this was Chaz Lanier started to come alive. Yeah, Chaz missed that free throw. I'm curious to see how he responds to that, though. If I'm guessing on this, he's going to respond with a chip on his shoulder. He had a lot of family and friends in attendance, and that's going to eat at him today as well. I'm curious to see how he responds moving forward, and maybe that's a silver lining because he had 3 rough games in a row. It wasn't looking too good, and then he started to come out of it a little bit. So I was encouraged by that. Something that, to me, a big difference, and the announcer said it too, when Zakai Ziegler went out with 2 fouls. Here's a problem I have. This has been an issue with Zakai Ziegler and Jemai Mashak, your best 2 defenders on the team, 2 of the best in the nation. Why are we continuing to foul 3-point shooters? It happened again today. It led to Zakai Ziegler going out of the basketball game. We have got to fix that because it's happened too many times at this point. Too many times we're fouling the 3-point shooter. I'm not even referring to the end of the game. I'm sick and tired of seeing these guys get out of position. Dane Bradshaw stated it, and Dane Bradshaw is a Tennessee volunteer for life. He stated it point blank. When you lunge at the dude shooting the the 3-pointer, and you make contact, you're going to get called for the foul. We have seen it too many times this year from this squad. They've got to fix that. And when it boils down to it, there's your difference in the basketball game. So, no, I'm not holding the Chaz Lanier free throw as the blame. If I want to really pinpoint something, it's 2 senseless fouls on 2 3-point shots that neither one of them would have been close. But yet, we're out of position, we're lunging, we're making contact. If you're going to lunge, at least lunge to the left or lunge to the right. Don't lunge straight at them, as they said. And, that's kind of a big problem with me. Looking at the split box score. Tennessee shot 48%, Vanderbilt 46%. Tennessee was 48% from 3-point range, 10 out of 21. I have something that I'm going to hit on that's going to be the big difference here. for me, in addition to those 3-point fouls. Vandy shot 38%. Vandy was 16 out of 19 at the free throw line. Tennessee 17 out of 21. Both teams 11 turnovers. Both teams 21 points off of turnovers. Vanderbilt did beat Tennessee 29-25 on the rebounds. I don't necessarily think that's the significant difference. Yeah, it's a 4-point difference. Vanderbilt did get 18 second chance points to 9 for Tennessee, 20 bench points to 8, points in the paint 34-28. Vanderbilt definitely, a lot of these numbers are similar. Here's the one for me that stood out, though. In 23 minutes tonight, Carey for Vanderbilt, 14 points, 10 rebounds. No one on this team could contain him. And if I bet you if I look right now, which I'm getting ready to do with the analytics on this, yeah, Carey was Vanderbilt's most efficient player. It didn't matter if it was Milicic, Cade Phillips. Akpara felt like Akpara was not on him as much, and I don't get that, but that's a concern for me. That is a concern for me because we brought some of these guys in to combat what was an issue last year. You think to some of these games where you had the guy, not necessarily 6, 10, 11 or what, but these just bull in a china shop guys, built like a brick shithouse, for lack of a better term. And Tennessee could not contain them last year. Well, Carey was that guy today. To me, he was their player of the game. Ron Slay said it on the post game. I think any of us that actually watched it and witnessed it, yeah, he was their guy. Tennessee could not do anything with him on the day. But it didn't seem to me like Akpara was matched up with him very often. And we'll point out another one to you here as well. This is pretty interesting when you look at the stats here. Plus minus, go off of that. Chaz Lanier was +2 when he was on the court. Ziegler +8. Funny enough, Milicic -8. Meshack -10. Meshack, rough game offensively, not aggressive enough. He's the last game, he sparked this team. Today, he didn't want it. He didn't want it offensively. Defensively, he's going to bring Akpara +9. Here is the difference in that game. In 2 minutes, they pulled. Chaz got careless. He got the ball stolen from him. Barnes pulled him. He pulled in, brought in Bishop Boswell. In 2 minutes of time that Bishop Boswell was on the court, nothing across the board. Tennessee was -8. -8 in that 2 minutes that Bishop Boswell was on the court. He's not ready. He is not ready. That is where a guy like Cam Carr, who I could go a lot of ways on this one. I'm going to keep it nice, though. A guy who couldn't handle it, packed his bags and hit the road. A guy like Cam Carr today would have been extremely vital for this team with his athleticism, his length, his skills. But yet, for whatever reason, he can't handle it. He couldn't handle it. Here, there's a lot of things I'd like to say for him. I don't have anything for Cam Carr. By the way, if you can't tell, and I've said it before on this, but in that instance, you put a guy like a Cam Carr who packed his bags, hit the road because he couldn't handle it, even though it wasn't like he was sitting out because he was getting benched. He was hurt. But yet, he hit the road. Dumbest decision I've seen. One of the dumber decisions I've seen. Whether it come from him or his family, I have to question their intelligence and their motive. Stupid. Absolutely stupid why he's not still on this team. But Bishop Boswell, -8 during his time. Dubar hit a 3. He only played 7 minutes. He didn't play enough. I don't get their management with Dubar because there were times with his game I thought it would have made more sense for him. Gainey, only 5 points today, 1 out of 6, 1 out of 3 from 3-point. 2 missed free throws. He was 2 out of 4. I was wrong earlier. I said they only missed 2 free throws. They missed 4. Gainey missed 2 of them. Akpara was 2 out of 3. Lanier, 3 out of 4. Cade Phillips in 9 minutes was -3. He He had 1 assist, 1 board, and 3 fouls on the day. Just not a good day for Tennessee basketball, and they still had a chance to pull this thing out in the end. Hats off to Vanderbilt, though. That's nothing. Anything I said, I'm critiquing Tennessee on it. I'm giving Vanderbilt credit on this one. They did what was needed today to win that basketball game, and Tennessee didn't. That's what it boiled down to. You had Jason Edwards with 18, Nickel with 13, Hogard with 11. Was it Magnon with 6? Magnon's an energy guy. He brings a lot to the table. I wish Tennessee had a guy like him that brought the energy and brought the fire, because I feel like Milicic brings it. Zakai is more of a quiet assassin. There's not enough. I feel like Dubar brings it a lot. Dubar last week on the road against Texas, he'd hit a shot. He was talking. Tennessee needs those guys in there. In summary, to summarize all of it today, number one, hats off to Vanderbilt. They took care of business. The 3-point fouls, you've got to stop with that. You've got to stop with it, because it's happened too many times this year, and it's mainly Zakai Ziegler and Jemai Mashak doing it. These are your 2 of the best defenders in the entire country. They're human. They get out of position. You cannot go at the shooter to make contact. Odds are neither one of those guys are going to block the shot. So, yeah, get a hand in front of them. Don't lunge at them and make contact. I'm sure Rick Barnes and staff have preached this enough. That's on the player. I don't think Boswell can be put in an important situation. Maybe he's down the line right now. That's, again, a place Cam Carr would be ideal. But he took his ass and hit the road because, for whatever reason, again, one of the dumber decisions I've seen. I don't like to criticize. I'll call players on their performance. But Cam Carr, whoever advised him, I don't think it come from him. I think it come from outside of him. Whoever advised him is a downright idiot on it. Cam Carr would have been perfect to come in today when some guys are struggling to provide minutes. You might win that game with Cam Carr. I mean, ifs and buts, But and the last thing for me, I'm actually encouraged that Chaz seemed to start to get going a little bit. Tennessee needs Chaz Lanier badly. He is your main scorer. He is the main guy on this. He went for 17 points today. It was a quiet 17. Rick Barnes pulled him out. Rick Barnes is tough on him. Here's my problem with Chaz today, though. 5 turnovers. That can not happen, and most of them were careless. They were careless on the day. Chaz is better than that, but I feel good. How does he bounce back from that free throw miss? That was not the difference in this game. Unfortunately, it come down to that one. There's so many other aspects of this game. I mean, you got down by 16. Hats off to this team for fighting back with it. It's still a good basketball team, guys. Anytime you go on the road, it's dog eat dog in this conference. If you get out, you saw Auburn. Georgia had a chance to beat them at the buzzer today. Alabama, hats off to them, went to Kentucky and won today. That was a big win for them. This conference is brutal. It just really is. I thought Tennessee, coming out of the second half, it was rough. Vanderbilt, with 10 minutes to go, was up in the 60s. And the fact they only ended up with 76, Tennessee locked down that last 10 minutes and had a shot. There's a lot of ways they can go on that one. I'm going to say this too. I don't know what a double dribble, and I don't know what a freaking walk is anymore either, because I just watched the team that won. I'm not blaming it on it, but I had a lot of discrepancies with double dribbles and walks today. We got to get that fixed. But I just had to say that there. That did not cost Tennessee the basketball game. I touched upon that. Tennessee moves forward from here. The road ahead. Tuesday night, 7 p.m., Mississippi State. Next Saturday, college game day is there. Tennessee at Auburn. Then it's Kentucky. The following Tuesday at Tennessee. The following Saturday, Florida comes Tennessee. This is a gauntlet coming up, these next 4 games. Fortunately, 3 out of 4 are at home. Can Tennessee hold serve at home? They're going to have their work cut out for them winning at Auburn. And we've seen how they play on the road. I would not expect it. I'm just being honest on it. Can they win the other 3 at home? It'll be interesting to see. Guys, have a great evening. This is Frank, House of Orange. Last but not least, even in loss, it's always a great day to wear the orange.